I don't recall how much we were drawing. I think in that reserve, it's like, I think about $25 a month, I believe. It wasn't much. And you didn't have to go very often anyhow. But for 20 years, when I got out, I got released from duty. I didn't draw no disability, and I could have stayed when I got out one more day. You draw disability, you got it coming. One more day, you will do your paperwork tomorrow. I said, no, I want out, I want to go home now. And I didn't take it. And this guy with disability insisted at 20 years that you've got it coming, you're going to need it later on. So I didn't draw no disability for 20 years, and then I started. And it moved up a little each time, years go by. But anybody that was 38th parallel, they don't even hardly ask no question no more. If you was there, you got disability. You got frozen hands and feet like that. And it was 10, 12 days and nights we were trapped without hardly anything. It was like fish in a barrel. Vicinity of 20,000 of us, 120 or 30,000 Chinese. But conditions was so bad, they was had to come over the mountain from the other side to get to us, and trying to get any equipment there. And Marine Corsairs is a small airplane, but they could drop those bombs on the mountain where they was trying to set up a machine gun to work on it and knock them out. They saved our lives, the Marine Corsairs.
How was your relationships with other foreign troops, including Korean soldiers?
Others in our outfit, we were very close. Very close. It didn't matter what nationality they were. There was a few of the Mexicans or Spanish in there. There was part that, 2 or 3, that we only had, while I was there, there was only, I believe, a couple of the colored in our outfit at the time. And they certainly done their part. They didn't make sure that they wasn't goofing off. They would do their part or more.
What were some of the most difficult or dangerous times during your duty?
Difficult times?
Were some of the most happiest or memorable, funny memories?
The hardest on me, I didn't understand. I thought when they started the rotation draft to come home, I thought, well, I've served and I've got a son that's nearly a year old. That I be on the first rotation draft? I think, here I go home. R is way down the list, alphabetical, is the way they done that, apparently.
What was probably one of the most severe battles that you engaged?
Do what?
What was probably one of the most severe battles that you engaged in while you were in Korea? Were you in any battles?
Well, artillery, you're not infantry. Artillery, 155 howitzers.
So what were you responsible for doing? What was your job?
Well, you've got a crew, like 12 or so operates there, some zeroing in, some loading, and some doing. You knew every part. You done every what different jobs. And when you put your shell in, and then you put the shells were close to 100 pounds. They were 90 something, and then depends on, you had bags of powder, 5 charge, 6, 7, 8 charge, depends on how far. 155, you didn't actually see the target you were shooting at, but you had a spotter would tell you you're right on the dot. You hit the tank, you didn't blow the tank up, you blow. They had pack mules. You knocked out so many Chinese, so many mules and stuff like that. Or troops, you had a different fuse. You'd make a shell go off in the midair, you know, so many feet above the ground where it would kill more. They had that down to a science, the different fuse where it would go. It could go through a building, penetrate a building, and then explode. It leveled the building.
Were you assigned to that position, or
You what?
were you assigned to artillery? Was that where you were assigned whenever you were drafted? Or did you
Yeah,
come
that's
in
what
the
we
States
were
later?
in. That's what we went to California to practice, and that's what I was trained. Everything that you do with a 155.
And what was the impact of the war and the fight upon your life, like after you returned home from Korea? What was life like? What impact did it have on you and your family?
Well, I still have a nerve problem. Don't walk up and touch me. I mean, they may not know it, because in church, I won't sit on the outside, you know, people walk by and touch me, and, you know, I come up with fist doubled, but if you get down not on the outside aisle, it wasn't so bad. And where I go to church, they know it, and they avoid, because I would catch somebody, you know. But the wife had to be very careful. That happened overnight when we landed. The first night we had landed, someone bent over to wake me up to go on duty, guard duty. I was just exhausted. You know, we'd been watching a bomb and shell. Where we landed, they bombed and shelled, and we watched it for hours. And anyhow, I landed just before daylight, and I laid there. I was laying on dirt, and somebody woke me up to go on guard duty. It scared me so bad. I had a rifle across me and my bayonet in my hand. It scared me so bad, I jumped and I went across his body and knocked him on down, the breath out of him. It scared me so bad, I went over him and I got my bearing before I come back and re-stabbed him. But I'd like to kill the Marine when we landed, because it scared me so bad when he touched me to wake me up.
I'm looking at your hat here, and it says the chosen few.
That's-
Can you kind of explain what that was? Can you tell me about
where
it?
we were trapped at the 38th parallel.
And about how many were there, you said?
That Marine, that 1st Marine Division, it was, I think it was around 20,000. I think it was 130,000 Chinese that had us trapped. We went ahead of the main line too fast, too far ahead, and this condition was so bad. Like I tell you, everything, water would freeze instant, anything pitched up, it would freeze, and they had us. The airplanes saved us, and they blew the bridges up. Corps engineers, they would fly in some pallets that would help it fill up between all mountains where this water runs off the bridge. It may not be big, but this bridge. It might drive anything kind of equipment, spare some equipment, put a ramp across to get the other equipment out. It spared some equipment to have something to put the ramp on, and helicopter, they might pick up some that we done passed.
How long were y'all trapped there for? Probably.
We were trapped.
How long?
It was about 10 days and nights before we got out, to where they would hold the line when we got out. The Army had the line, was holding the line till we got down flat country, some flat country where rice paddies were.
Have you been back to Korea since?
No, and I'm not going back either. They say that's a concrete city, modern stuff now, but they was, you know, they were bad shape, and I mean, it was natural for them. They didn't have nothing, everything was destroyed, you know, their houses, but they welcomed, they would pay our expense if you want to come back and visit. And there was some in New Boston. I went to a friend's funeral last week. He went back twice, avoid Akins. But I wasn't interested in going back.
In 2013, we witnessed the 60th anniversary of the armistice, which was signed by China, North Korea, and the UN on July 27, 1953. There is no war in modern history that lasted 60 years after an official ceasefire. What do you think we have to do to put a closure on it? Do you support a kind of movement to petition to end the war officially and to replace the armistice with a peace treaty?
Well, I don't know enough about that to make a statement. Part of it would be wrong. Some would say what I said was wrong. Some might agree. I'd rather not make a statement on that.
That's perfectly fine. What do you think the legacy of the Korean War veterans and the Korean War are? Like, what do you think the legacy is? Do you think it's important for younger generations to know what happened in Korea?
Oh, yes, it was great sacrifice that the United States paid. We lost lots of lives there, lots of lives. Very expensive war, and it was, but they showed, you know, we got some respect there, but they called that a police action. That wasn't a war. They called that a police action, some did. That didn't sound good either. But I thought we was in war. When everybody's getting killed all around you and shelled and all that. It looked and smelled like a war to me.
Did you happen to get wounded at all?
Me? No, I couldn't remember the name of the ward. I didn't put it down. But when we got, it was a mortar fire, and I thought this buddy was in a sleeping bag with the, you know, where the powder exploded and it was burning, and I was trying to get him out of this bag, and he was in that bag. I got a medal, you know, for I was standing there trying to say.
Is there anything else you'd like to share? Any other stories or memories that you had during the Korean War that you would like to live on through the digital memorial?
No, there's some things I don't tell. I won't tell. Maybe that was the way, couldn't keep from being, but there's things that wouldn't change. It's done gone in the past, things that happened. Some of it very sad, some of it hard
It's understandable.